Yeah, that's a good one. I don't fly into many contractor shops or carrier leadership organizations and go for a hug over a handshake. It'd be a little strange interaction,
Now,
especially during
did
the
you
COVID
prior to
times.
COVID or
No, no,
Oh, okay.
still no, not nothing like that. I have to identify my own job to be done. Actionable is a really unique organization. We are a 501c6 nonprofit organization. We're a trade association, essentially, a steward of the property insurance ecosystem. Our board is made up of contractors and adjusters. We are as neutral as we can be when the content we put out around estimating and invoicing. Our goal is to define, or at least start the conversation to define what is reasonable and customary when invoicing in this industry. Most people are self-taught or peer-taught in this industry when it comes to the estimating softwares that exist. And so what is my job to be done? I'm not a consultant. That's not what our organization does. I am not a contractor. I'm not an adjuster. I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. My job to be done is to help people understand things that may have historically frustrated them in the past, or how to really present what you're doing in a way that everyone around you understands why you're doing it the way you're doing it. Estimating and restoration used to be as simple as grabbing a yellow piece of paper, writing 3 line items on it, putting a price next to it, handing it over, and getting paid. But now we have thousands, tens of thousands of line items in various softwares that you have to master and learn how to present. And then you have the industry around it with third-party administrators, TPAs, and program works. Like, that's a new development in the last 10 years where you now have another layer of justification to get through in order to get paid fairly for the hard work that you're doing as a contractor. So what is my job to be done? My job is not to come in and tell people what they should be doing. My job is to be an educator and show them what's possible, show them the best practices. If I can create a learning environment, like, that's a big part for me. I'm fairly young, I think, for the industry, like, relatively. I'm often teaching people twice my age that have been using the software for as long as I have been alive, which can be a weird situation to be in.
No pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Like, hey, sorry that you've been doing it for 30 years. You've been doing it wrong. And here's why. Right?
That's really hard. That cognitive dissonance, guys, so often when we're like, hey, you are leaving this warranted line item out every time you are installing a countertop, and they resist it. It's like subdecks. No, you can't charge for. I'm like, there's a line item for it. Are you including plywood underneath your? Yeah. Okay. Right. That is really difficult. Sometimes we've taught shops that are doing $80 million and have forgotten, like they used to, but just charge for project management hours. And we're outlining, like, the difference to your bottom line is fantastic. And that's going to resonate value and deliver value to all elements of the business. Actionable is all about the bottom lines. There are a lot of coaches, consultants that focus on top line, and top line's hard, and it's really important. And there's a lot of skill sets that need to be developed around that. But, as teachers, very different than coaches or consultants, like, we're focused myopically around the bottom line, never top line. Right. And that's where I'm just mystified how often, like, there's an inherent resistance.
Yeah.
Right. To, like, wait a minute. No, you can't charge for project management hours. But Chris, back to your point of, like, well, how do we earn the hug? Just did this morning, man. There was a post last night on Xactimate Ninjas where we have, nearly 12,000 members. And, this probably pretty green estimators, like, why are these project management hours keep getting denied by these carriers? And you could just see, like, they were, like, passionately, like, frustrated and sad. Yeah. And, I posted our insight sheet for residential project management hours, which shows the case law to support why it would be warranted. It links out to the Xactimate white paper, and it shows where there's deficiencies in, the line items that really create space for that being, warranted, and includes an F9 note that pragmatically outlines, like, 2 hours per day, 4 or 5 days, right? That's something that an adjuster can approve. And so we got that approved with our board. That wasn't easy for Harrison and I to get our board, the carrier side, to approve. Everything we publish, guys, gets approved by both sides of the claim. I think that's what adds credibility to it. It's one thing if, like, restorers like, this is how you should bill, but if I can't get National General, Allstate, peer, like, to come to the table, then, like, really, what is it? It's just one restorer's opinion.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a one-sided invoicing standard.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, what was really cool was Derek Stone like posted only a couple hours ago, and he's like, dude, Whatley's right. The Actionable crew has been out here, flown out to their shop. This is Sweet Shop Midwest twice. And he's like, we've Bill in accord with this and we have excellent luck. So it does take some degree of sophistication and a pragmatic approach to getting paid for it, but it's absolutely possible. And I felt loved, I was like, man, like it works. And that's my hug, man. When I can text my fellow, restorers and be like, hey, you guys getting paid for Matterport? And they're like, dude, every time, all the time. And I'm like, boom, it's real. Like that feels super good. That's the compensation I care about.